This is a series of 100 films about Japanese places I've been, and this is a film about how to find Tokyo City Hall and why you'd want to go there. Part 1. Nishi-Shinjuku, the Skyscraper District. Shinjuku is one of the 23 special wards of Tokyo Prefecture in the Kanto region, the area around Tokyo on the island of Honshu in eastern Japan. It's serviced by the Yamanote Line, the Shonan Shinjuku Line, the Saikyo Line, the Chuo Line Rapid Service, the Chuo-Sobu Line Local Service, the Odakyu Odawara Line, the Odakyu Enoshima Line, the Keio Line, the Keio New Line, the Marunouchi Subway Line, the Toei Shinjuku Line, the Toei Oedo Line, and the Seibu Shinjuku Line. The first time I went here was my first day in Japan. Shinjuku is where I had to meet the representative of the management company for my first apartment. I'd never been in a train station so crowded, and it was all Japanese people racing around at 7:30 at night trying to get home, and for me it was a brief moment of culture shock. Wandering through the busiest train station in the world, it was the first time I'd ever been in such a large place where I was pretty much the only white person. I was in the basement, the main concourse for the JR or Japan Railway Station. Shinjuku is several different stations connected together, 3 different subway lines, 4 different major above-ground train companies servicing all of western Tokyo and Yokohama. The main concourse, where I was wandering, was in the basement. Except for subway lines, all the trains depart from the first floor. And the underground concourse connects to all the train lines as well as tall buildings west of the station. And the station is always very, very crowded, but once you exit, there are really 3 different Shinjukus. The first one is the institutional skyscrapers, built between the train station and the Tocho. Tocho is the name for the city hall. Sakana. It's 2 skyscrapers connected together mid-height. They have a fantastic observation deck from where you can see the whole city of Tokyo from Shinjuku for free. The only thing I'll warn you is that they do keep the fluorescent lighting on at nighttime, so it can make the Tokyo nightscape a little bit difficult to see at that time, so it's best to go during the day. Nearby is the famous Shinjuku Park Hyatt Hotel, which was in the movie Lost in Translation. The bar on the 52nd floor has fantastic views of Shinjuku and $24 martinis. Keep in mind there are plenty of other places in Tokyo with equal, if not better views and more modestly priced drink lists. Sakana. As you get closer to the train station, you'll see other institutional buildings, life insurance companies, urban universities, and banks. The Sampo building is somewhat famous. Built in the 70s, it has an art gallery open to the public showing Van Gogh's Sunflowers painting. Closer to the station is the Mode Gakuen building, housing different specialty educational institutions. Its shape is suggestive of a rocket ship. The area west of Shinjuku Station has a lot of skyscrapers because the bedrock under this neighborhood is less prone to liquefaction during an earthquake. That said, during the great 2011 quake, some of these buildings shook for 17 continuous minutes after a 60-second earthquake. For convenience, most of the skyscrapers are connected by a labyrinth of underground tunnels. Just keep in mind that while it's a pretty safe area, shortly before midnight, the underground area by the station is invaded by men with cardboard boxes. They're homeless, and this is where they sleep to avoid the elements, and it is a sight watching them arrive. Even so, the area is pretty safe. Above ground, there are lots of parks. Most of them are spotless and not that crowded, and there are plenty of restaurants. South of the taxi loop is a more traditional shopping area where you can find electronics stores and hundreds of restaurants and bars. Behind my old work headquarters, there was a bar called Yamato's that literally never closed. Not for New Year's or any other reason. It's in the basement a couple blocks west of the Odakyu department store, and it's just one of many cheap, fantastic culinary experiences to find in Shinjuku. The word of the day. The word of the day is sakana. It means fish in Japanese. You'll see it on menus a lot. Think of the top part as a fish head and the 4 bottom strokes as water, and it gets easier to remember. So if you want to remember this word, feel free to watch this video 10 more times and repeat along with me. At least that's what I do. Next time, So that's it until next time when we visit what many people think is the most dangerous place in Japan. So until then, sayonara.